Welcome back. With us right now is Janine McKinnon with ACT Laguna Woods. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Ken. Nice to meet you.
And first, I know you folks have come on before, but sort of give us a background of ACT Laguna Woods. I know it's associated with ACT across America, right?
Yes.
Or ACT for America.
Well, this particular community is a very unique operation because we're a retirement community per se, and I don't know of very many other clubs across the nation that have the age population that we do.
Right.
And if I can say something about my neighbors and friends, how very well informed they are and how brilliant they are in terms of traveling and activities that they do, artistic qualities and sports activities. They're very, very well informed. And so it is a particular group that we hope to bring focus on in terms of the goals and objectives of ACT for America, Laguna Woods.
All right, and if you could go over some of those goals as far as, I would imagine, the club here, but also, I guess, the national part of ACT for America,
yes,
right?
Yes, they're really truly one and the same, except at the local level, they tend to be
it's like you're a chapter,
less
right?
complicated in terms of that. We're really an educational network, truly, and citizens and elected officials, and what we protect and defend the communities in our states and our country from Islamization, Sharia law, and Islamic law. That's very, very important to us, and confronting terrorism as we see it in our communities and in our states and across the nation. So that's a very, very important effort. We believe in the Constitution, the sovereignty of our nation, promoting the Constitution that governs our lives, our policies, and how we conduct our businesses and friendships with each other. That is a very important goal for our club, as well as supported by the national organization. We believe in a secure border that keeps us safe, that complies with the laws and our Constitution in terms of how we perceive people. We certainly support in terms of people coming to our country, immigration policies that are considered our law. So that's the kind of a thing that ACT for America across the nation, as well as our club here in our village, would promote it all. We like all sorts of people. We're non-denominational. We have all sorts of terms of religious backgrounds and ethnic minorities and majorities. It's not selective in that regard at all. So, energy independence is a big factor. We have explored energy in terms of expansion, our own natural gas and oil resources. In the past, we have always purchased it, much to the chagrin of many people from foreign countries, and paid our dollars out there, and many of the dollars ended to support things that we really are harsh and we don't believe in. Empowering women and keeping them safe, women and children, is a really very, very important thing. And if I might, for just a minute,
sure, of course.
This is the iconic document written by Ayan Hirsi Ali, who from Mogadishu and came to our country, and she wrote the book Infidel more than 10 years ago. And this is something that is really a beginning start for people if they really wish to really learn more about it. There's at least smart people here. They really are book readers. And most recently, from her organization, there is a film called Honor Diaries. And there are Muslim women that do not believe in Sharia law and are forming a coalition of 10 to 15 people that are truly professional women to get their knowledge out about the fact that women are abused, little girls abused, the kinds of things of forced marriages and what like that. So the empowering women is a big thing. And then our support for Israel. We really believe that the National does, that Israel has a right to exist as a sovereign nation. They are our only ally in the Middle East. And those broad things are the things that we, in our way here in the Laguna Woods Village, wish to have people encouraged to become a part of our group, to learn about the things that we are trying to promote. And I extend an invitation to all my neighbors and friends to come to our next group meeting, and we're so pleased to have Bill Sinclair.
Yeah, and Bill Sinclair is an economic and political analyst, and you were saying to me, because his name sounded familiar to me, that he has done some instructing with the emeritus.
That's true. Yeah. He's a long-standing lecturer, truly, of a great following in the political science department. And his background began truly years ago as a naval officer and some time at the Pentagon. Okay. So in terms of background in the military experience, that is true. Then he spent many years in the banking industry, attending and getting information about banking laws, establishing banks of community nature and international nature, CEO kinds of obligations where he's management and policies. And in that regard, he knew exactly how the money flowed in order to have that kind of thing happen, the policies of the federal government and that sort of thing. And then he has been an expert in terms of government and policies for many, many years. And he lectures in terms about that. He keeps us apprised of changes, and there certainly have been many in our Constitution, many in Washington, and many also in our own state. So we are very fortunate to have him March 23rd, Clubhouse 3.
And that will be at 1 o'clock. And
yes, it is.
Is this open to anyone or just your members?
Yes, no. We welcome anyone, and we do have guests all the time. We ask for a donation of $5, but that's not really necessary. I have brought a number of guests on occasion and back that it's welcome. Come and hear. And we welcome them, and sometimes more information is requested, and we have no problem with answering questions or any regard to any concerns that people have. We try to do a really good job. Okay,
I have a quick question.
Yes.
It doesn't say, at least on here, it's at the Performing Arts Center on March 23rd at 1 o'clock. Is it in one of the, like Dining Room 1, or is it in the main theater?
No, it's usually not in the main theater. Okay. It's in one of the smaller rooms.
So when people get there,
yes,
they have a sign
usually put a sign up, and they direct you appropriately to find your way.
Okay, and the topic is pretty broad, economic and political issues.
Well, he's a pretty broad person in terms of his knowledge, and he zeroes in on current day affairs that are going on. He probably will speak about the rise in the interest rates by Governor Yellen, who did a 0.25% interest rate with the Federal Reserve the other day. He could talk about that. That certainly would be interesting to all of our residents who like to watch their money and sometimes hope for more, that kind of thing. So I would say he would probably address that. We also have some hearings going on this morning about leaks in terms of, and he probably, having been with the Pentagon and things like that, he'll probably have some interesting things to say about that, and also do his very best to answer authoritatively and answer the questions.
Right.
So
it's interesting with all this stuff going on right now. People kind of have glossed over the 0.25% interest rate.
Yes, well, you do forget, don't you?
And that'll affect people either positively or negatively, one way or another, more immediate than just about anything else right now.
Well, one of the major things, of course, that we wish to do is to have people all over the country being able to buy homes or invest in businesses. I mean, that is a major issue in terms of business orientation. So when you're looking for funds or loans or what have you, you wish to have one at a reasonable rate and something you can afford, and she says, or the board says that there'll be 2 or 3 more interest rates upcoming. Yeah, we do forget, don't we?
Yeah, and then on the other hand, for people who are savers or have annuities or something like that, you kind of want the interest rate to go up.
They haven't had it for so long.
I know.
You know, how do you end up having something in a savings account that's not paying anything? You know?
Exactly.
So it should be a wonderful program, and he's quite popular and personable, and it goes right along with all the things that Act for America, Laguna Woods really promote, and we do it in a way that is a volunteer organization, and everybody is welcome.
All right, very good. Obviously, there'll be a lot to talk about there. I'm sure afterwards he'll give a speech, people can ask questions and
they usually stay.
Great.
And you know, and that's the kind of a thing that happens. They stay and they ask a little bit more.
And with his background from working in the government to banking and all the other things that he's done, he can really speak a lot about everything that's going on right now, I'm sure.
And they listen.
Yeah.
And they value what he says, and he points people in different directions. So
very good. So again, that's over at the Performing Arts Center building, Thursday, the 23rd. That is this week at 1 o'clock, and just head on over there. Anyone can come by?
Absolutely. We welcome you.
All right.
You come on over.
All right. Thank you very much. Pleasure to meet you. Hope to see you again.
Ken. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, it's been wonderful, and we'll be right back.